All right, I think I should just start. This session has been given the title Case Study, Rapid WordPress Design and Prototyping with Expression Web 3. That's not the title I proposed, but the title I proposed made no sense because it's that, which is my motto, because this is precisely what I do. I basically take websites or a standard theme or whatever, pick it apart, and put it together again the way I want it to, because I want things to work the way I want them to work. This is the question I get from almost all my clients. How fast can it be done? It's a very difficult question to answer because you don't really know when you start a project how fast you can finalize it. But the reality is if you employ the right techniques and you build it on something like WordPress or another CMS, the answer to that question can be 2 to 3 hours. That, of course, depends on the design being done in advance, or that you just make something that's really sketchy and that you have some content to put on it. But the fortunate thing about using WordPress or any other CMS is that you can leave the content production to the client ahead of time. Just pass them the software, say, okay, stuff all your stuff in there, and I'll work on my end at the same time. And then we can get the site up and running much faster. The reality is I did a session for something called Web Not War in Canada, where I redesigned a complete website in 45 minutes. That's what I mean by hardcore code session. At the end, everyone was sitting like this. So I'm not doing that. But it's possible. WordPress is, by their own definition, a state-of-the-art publishing platform with focus on aesthetics, web standards, and usability. And I think that the next to last portion of that is the important part, the web standards. By default, WordPress outputs 100% standards-based code, which means if you do your job right as a developer or designer, the site should and will work the same in all browsers, on all platforms, and it'll degrade in the right way so that everything works. It also comes with things like mobile integration and everything, with plugins. It just works really, really well, which is why I use it. The other positive thing about WordPress specifically is that it has the easiest user interface for the person on the other end. So the person who hires you to do a website, who doesn't know anything about it, can actually manage the website very easily. But I'm not really here to evangelize WordPress. I am here to evangelize my invention. Ta-da! The unholy quatern. This is the method I use, and this is what I want you guys to see so that you realize, oh, this is quite clever. I should start using this too, and I will not charge you for it. A quatern is the cardinal number of the combination of 3 and 1, so 4. And the reason why I say quatern is because it's 4 based on the open source platform WordPress and 3 Microsoft applications. Expression Web 3, the web platform installer, and Live Mesh. Are you guys familiar with these? They're all free. Well, no, they're not all free. Strike that. The 2 on the right are free. The one on the left is an awesome web design application. And that's why I'm here. I designed WordPress sites using Microsoft Web technology. In particular, today, what's important is the web platform installer, although it's a little hard to see what I mean because it runs in the background. I'll show you what I mean. The web platform installer that you get from here, I'll give you the links and all that stuff afterwards. They're also on the front of my blog, designersphilosophy.com. Just go there. All my links are right there right now. You can go here and download the web platform installer and install it on your computer, on your server, whatever. It installs a complete web platform, and it also comes packaged with whatever CMS you want. So Drupal, WordPress, whatever, you just click on it, and it'll download all the necessary stuff, including MySQL and all that, and install it locally on your computer so you can run WordPress or Drupal or whatever from inside your computer. So you don't need a server to do it, which means you can do a lot of work on the plane or whatever you want, and you can also do a lot of testing. Where am I? Sorry, I'm not used to this switching thing. Case study, because that's what we're all here for. I'll take you through 2 or possibly 3 projects that I've actually worked on. These are real projects with real people and real problems that I've solved. And hopefully you'll see how all of this stuff fits together. FrugalBits is a new site made by Caroline Rule. It does not exist yet. It's live on the internet, but only for people with access to it. What she wanted was a magazine that she can talk about frugal things on. And she wanted something that was super easy to use. So I built that for her. And then she said, look, Morten, we have these legal pages. And we want the legal pages to look different from the other pages. Because in WordPress, you have pages and posts. And pages are static, while posts are the regular blog stuff. So I needed to make a separate page template. And this is where Expression Web comes in. This is the FrugalBits website. This is a regular post. And this is a regular page. And as you can see, the page looks a little bit different because it's not completely finished yet. And what I want to do is first make the page look like the post, and then I want to make the page look different. Let me explain how I structured this. What I did was install WordPress through the web platform installer on my computer, so it's running under, that init pub w whatever root thing. So it's running on my computer. And I've taken, under WP content, this is where what WordPress looks like actually gets stored. You have plugins, themes, and uploads. The only folder that really matters here is the themes. You can see the folder's blue because I've linked it through mesh to my computer at home. Which means at any time I make a change to any of my websites inside the theme folder, that change gets pushed to the cloud and then pushed to my system at home, so I can work independently on both systems and always have the latest updated version of what I'm working on. So what I've done is, for each project I'm working on, I have a separate theme. So right now there are 10 different live customer projects within that folder, all under one website inside Expression Web. So when we go to Expression Web, you see this is the actual website, and it contains all of those folders. The reason why I do this is because when it comes time to publish, and this is new in Expression Web 3, you can actually assign multiple different publishing locations to one project, which means since I only publish the theme files, I can then set up one project with 100 themes in it and have 100 different publishing locations. So when I need to publish files to FrugalBits, I just go to the FrugalBits FTP, push the files into FrugalBits, which is on a server somewhere in the States. And then when I want to do something with the Science School kids, I push that to the server in Vancouver. And when I want to do something with any of the other sites, I just push it to wherever, but I never have to switch my projects. So in my Expression Web installation, there's only one website, this one. Now, I'll show you how exactly that works. What we need to do here is take this page and make it work the way the other page works. So I need to see the output of the code. The problem with WordPress, of course, if you've ever worked with it, is that when you look at the theme consists of this, which means, like if I open the index page, which is the front page, or I'll open the single page, which is that's what it looks like. It's not even complete. It just calls the header, and then it calls the sidebar, and it kind of puts together a bunch of files and makes it output. What I need to work with is the actual output of this so that I can see what the site ends up looking like. So what I'll do is I'll go to the site that I want to deal with. I'll go Control-U. This is Firefox that just grabs the code. Control-A to grab it all, copy, and Control-F4 to close it again. And then I'll go back to Expression Web. And what I've done is, since the site was built just like WordPress, the root is where all the files should be in the live version. So I'll just build a file called FrugalBits post. It's empty now, and I'll literally copy in the code that I had. And here comes the big trick. You find the style sheet link, and you make it into a relative link like this. And then you go to split view. So now what you're seeing is the content from the live site on the internet running with the style sheet from my local installation of WordPress on my computer, which means I can work on the style sheet with the actual output. The problem here is that I need to see I need to add that bar thing that was on the page, on the post to this page. So I need to grab the post as well. So grab the post, exact same thing. It looks a bit silly. There's a lot of steps involved here. And I'll go back to my folder list. I have another one, and I'll just paste it in. Oops, sorry, I pasted it in the wrong place. So now this is the post. And here is, everyone asked me, because all WordPress people use Mac. I don't. And when I go to WordPress events, people are like, oh, because I have I'm a PC sticker on it, and they freak out. And then they say, why are you using PC, whatever. I don't care. This is the reason why I use Expression Web. I will show you in one click. I need to add this bar to the page. The problem is I don't know what that bar is. I'll click on it, and then I get this nice tag selector up here that will actually show me, there it is, what I actually need. I need this div class cat links. That's what I need on my page. Now that I know what I need, I can go into the theme folder. So I'll find the theme folder. Now I know all the single posts are controlled by the file that's called single. Mysterious thing, right? And then I can see here, div class cat links. So what I need is to just take that code and copy it over to the page template. So I'll just grab all of that. I'll use the code toolbar to do that, copy it, and then I'll open the page template, which manages the pages. And I'll just try to match these. So I'll look at the single, and it says get header, get sidebar, post body to post. And then I'll just see get header, get sidebar, post body to post. OK, I'll paste it in right here. Now, if you read this, WordPress looks cryptic until you start reading it, and then you realize it's not. Because it says PHP, the category, that's basically a PHP include. So I don't actually need the category, because this is the legal pages that I want to deal with. So I'm just going to take that out and type legal instead. And this other one, I'll leave. That's basically a PHP include that finds the link to the edit page. You'll only see it if you're logged in. So I made that change to the page. The problem is this page is on my computer, not on the server outside. So I need to go to my local WordPress installation, which currently looks like this. This is WordPress standard. I'll go to the privacy policy page. Still looks like WordPress standard. And then I'll go to manage themes and find the Frugal Bits theme and activate it. And this is why I use WordPress. Now, the site that I had looks like that instead, because the entire look of the site is contained within that theme folder. And you see, I fixed the problem. Now the bar is there. But that's just half the battle, because the issue that she had was that she wanted the page to look different from this. She didn't want it to look the same. So I need to make a custom page that looks different from the other pages. That sounds complicated until you realize that WordPress has it figured out. If you go to the page manager, you'll see that there's an actual function here called template, where you can make custom templates. And that sounds really challenging until you realize what you need to do. So I'll go into Expression Web and use one of the tools here. First, I need to make a new file, so I'll just save this as something else. I'll save it as legal page. Save. And then I'll take out the sidebar, because I know she doesn't want it. And I'll go to the top here and include this tiny little piece of code. Now, this is, I don't know, do you guys work with Expression Web? Yes? OK. Do you know this, the code snippets? Control-Enter in code view? OK. Code snippets, you can stuff whatever you want in. The trick is you can actually make code snippets yourself. So what I've done is I've made a huge pile of WordPress code snippets. They are all available for you. You can download them and install them, and then all of a sudden you have all these smart functions. What I'm looking for here is the custom page template snippet. That's all it is. It just puts in the PHP delimiter, and it has a commented out thing that says template name. So I'll change it to, let's see, legal page, and I'll save it. And when I go back here, I'll reload this page again and go to Quick Edit. And I already did this last night, so it remembers it. But you can pick legal page. It now appears on the list. Update page. And when I reload this now, sidebar's gone. But that means that the other pages in the same site still have the sidebar. So now I have two different looking pages. You can take this to whatever extreme you want. You can make an entirely different web layout for each individual page and have hundreds of different page templates. And the trick is, it's really that simple. All you do is just go and put that little piece of code there. I need to go a little bit further, though, because I need to make this stretch across the whole page. So I'll use that same technique I did before, copy it, oops, and I'll go into my posts and paste it in, change the style sheet link. This looks really convoluted, but you do it enough times, you'll wear out all the keys on your keyboard, like I did. Now I need to just know. See, I'm not a coder. I'm a designer that does this because I can't get anyone to do it for me. So I'm not really good at reading code and figuring out exactly what's going on. But what I want to do is figure out what element is making that box so small. So again, I'll just do that thing I did before. I'll just click at any element within that and just go down this tree until I find the box that looks like it's constraining this box. In this case, it's that post body. And the good thing about Expression Web is it automatically tells you not only what style element is styling what you're clicking on, it actually gives you that style element. It's right there, post body. So all I have to do is double click on it. It opens my style sheet for me and highlights that particular style I was working on. So I figure all I need to do here is just add it. So I'll add a new style, I'll call it legal body. And then I'll look at the one on top, and I see it has float left. That's really all I need. Save it. I'll go back to my post, and just to check that this actually works, I'll change it like that. So that's where I want to be, but I did that in my dummy version of the site. So now I need to go to my legal page template and find post body, which is right here, and change it. And now I saved it. I can go to my dummy site on my local computer, reload the page. Ta-ta! It's so amazing, I know. People should pay me money for this stuff. And now, since I know that I fixed the problem, I made a new template for Carol Ann, and everything works, I can go to Site View. I'll go to FrugalBits FTP. I have no idea if this is going to work, by the way. And here I have my site. I'll just find the folder in question, FrugalBits. I wonder what happens if I try to push something out from here. And I'll find that legal page, publish it. Tick, 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 tick. I apologize. I dropped my computer on the floor last night, so it's kind of buggy. I can't help it. This is probably not going to work. But my point is, like, I just made a major change to that website, and it took, what, all of 5 minutes. I'm going to make one more demo for you, because that's all I have time for, because I talk too much. This is another site I made. It's called the Science School Kids. Unfortunately, it doesn't really look good in this format. It's also 100% WordPress, and it's actually a store. So you click on the different categories here, and you click on an element, and then you get the actual product you can buy. It looks quite nice, I think. I didn't design this, the owner did, and I just took her designs and made it work. But she called me and she said there's a problem with the site because some people are experiencing that the menu is appearing here on top of all the content. I thought that was really weird. So I said, sure, I'll take a look at it. I thought that I'd done proper browser testing, but I guess I didn't. So again, I'll just go Control-U, A, C, F4, and I'll open a new, let me just kill these files very quickly. And again, this is a good demo of why I use Expression Web specifically and not something else. I'll go to another file called Design School Kids. And again, this is just the dummy file. I'll paste in the code and change my style sheet link, close this publishing thing. And here you see the site. Now, it looks fine here. How am I to know that this is not working properly? Do you know Super Preview? You use it? I don't see a lot of nodding heads. Look how many browsers I have installed on my computer. That's all the browsers you need, minimum. Okay, I ran the site in Super Preview. I have it set up. Ooh, okay, I see the problem. So here I have IE7 on the left and IE6 on the right, but in IE8 it works fine. So clearly there is some issue here that I didn't catch because I'm an idiot. So I need to figure out why is this happening. Again, I'll just click on the element and just go down until I find whatever's positioning this. In this case, it looks like it is the sidebar. It's highlighted here, and when I hover over it, it tells me margin top 20, margin left 41. So that, I'm just going to guess that that's the issue. It usually is, especially with Internet Explorer. So I'll just right-click on it, go in, and just take that away. And then at the same time, I'll use absolute positioning to just jam it to the top and left. Because then I can do a quick test. It'll look hideous, but at least I can test to see if this worked. I'll save it. It automatically saves my style sheet, even though I never touched it. And I'll click on Super Preview again, reload it. And we'll see very quickly if what I did the trick. And hopefully it did. Yeah, it did, although it looks hideous. So now I just have to go in and fix that little error. So I'll go to the sidebar, modify the style, go to position. Now, if there's any really smart coders here who are like, that's not the proper way of fixing your problem. I'm sure that's right. I don't care. It works. That's how I work. So I know this is going to be 161 because the top of it is 141. And then, yeah, I'll just set it like this. Save it again. Saves the style sheet. Notice I never touched the style sheet. You can go in there if you want and look at it. It's right there. Whatever change I just made, you can see it. And I'll run Super Preview one last time to make sure it works. Looks good in IE6. Looks good in IE7. Looks good in IE8. Awesome. It's exactly what I wanted. Of course, it's not exactly perfect, but at least it works. So my point of this whole thing, and my 2 minutes and 20 seconds left, is that using WordPress, you can actually do really, really, really fast things. Like using the exact techniques I just showed you and all those code snippets that you can download. Just go to my website or go to, let's see, here. They're publicly available. You just dump them in. They work with any version of Expression Web. You just put them in, and immediately you will get access to all of these code template tools. And they literally input things for you. Like I have one called image for header. This is the #1 request for anyone who has a WordPress website. How do I change my image, no, my header, which is just text, to an image? I made the code snippet. All you do is literally go in and find where your header is. And you go Control-Enter, scroll down to image as header, enter again, save, publish, done, finished. You now have an image as header. Of course, you actually have to have an image. It doesn't work without that. But I made a bunch of these tools for people to use, just like that. These are links to all the software, although you really don't need the bottom one unless you're installing it on an external server. I highly recommend trying WordPress just because it's so damn simple. And what I've discovered is even when I'm building larger sites that have to run on something else eventually, WordPress works extremely well as the prototype because I can get it up and running in a matter of days. So the client says, I want a site, I want it to do all these things, and I say, okay, do you want to try it? So we'll just throw something on the internet that works exceptionally well, has all the social media integration, everything there, and then whenever they call me and say, Morten, I need you to move the sidebar on the left to the right, I'll just go into Expression Web and move the sidebar from the left to the right. In my project, save it, and then I can go home, the file's already been updated, so I have the current file on my system. I don't have to do the USB thing back and forth. And everything just clicks together very nicely, which is what I like, because otherwise I get really frustrated and angry. I think I have 8 seconds left, so fill out your evaluation forms. I have swag. Is this time right? Yeah, it is. There's time for questions. A question will get a Booker's t-shirt. Otherwise, I don't know how to hand them out. Does anyone want a Booker? Oh, yes, you.
Have you tried the WordPress stuff with the Azure hosting?
See, I heard about that yesterday. What he's asking is, have I tried WordPress with Azure hosting? Apparently, you can host WordPress under Azure, and there are some very, very, very large websites that are currently hosting WordPress under Azure. And I'm just assuming, based on that it works really well, although I don't have the money to pay for that. It's quite expensive. The reality is, WordPress runs under any host that allows for MySQL and PHP, which means any host that runs Windows Server 2008, I think it is. It will run on older servers too, but you have to make sure that they actually do proper MySQL support. It basically runs on anything. Basically, it's very simple. My clients use all sorts of servers all over the place. I've only run into one problem once, and I'm not going to say who that was. Yes, back there. Yeah, go ahead.
Standard theming techniques that this doesn't handle very well.
Did everyone catch that? The answer to the question is, I build my own themes from scratch. The reason is exactly what you just said, that I tend to find that when people build themes, they either have shortcuts, or they do something weird, or they do something I don't want. And in the end, I figured that I need themes that work exactly the way I want them to work, so I'll just build them from scratch. And it sounds horribly hard, but it's not. I've actually made 2 themes that are available if you go to my website, Design is Philosophy. They're free. It's called Wavefront and Typograph. These themes are specifically designed to make it easy for anyone to go in and change them. And all the websites I make are actually built on either Typograph or Wavefront from scratch. And they're both, Typograph has no CSS in it. Has no images in it anyway. Tons of CSS. And it's all commented so you can see what's going on. Questions? Questions?
You demonstrated WordPress right there.
Mm-hmm.
Can we do the exact same stuff with Joomla?
Yes.
CMS?
Yes. Web Platform Installer, when you install it, there's a huge list. And you literally just pick whatever CMS you want. You can pick 100 if you want. They have ZenCart and a whole bunch of stuff. You install it, and then you run it exactly the same way. The one thing that you have to remember is if you're running Windows 7 and you want to do this with Expression Web, you have to run Expression Web as administrator. Otherwise, Windows 7 won't let you write to the drive because the Web Platform Installer is running under C. It's not running, so I'll have to go talk to the Windows 7 people about that. It annoys me. But this works I've tried it with Joomla, I tried it with Drupal, I tried it with ZenCart. It works just the same, although the programming is different. Questions? Comments? Anyone want a book? Are these questions or comments? Question? Mm-hmm.
You need MySQL, platform installed on the actual computer?
Windows Platform Installer does it all. You just literally go to, I'll go back one frame. You go to Microsoft.com/web and install it, and it'll install, you click on WordPress, it'll install everything you need to run WordPress. And then you just go localhost /WordPress, and it runs, or /ZenCart or whatever. Yes? Mesh is like a beta thing. It basically just links your folder. So you pick a folder. I'm not going to show you. You pick a folder, any folder, and you just right-click on it, go down, and it says Share with Mesh. And then you just share it. And then when you have another computer that's linked up to your account, it'll automatically pop up in your desktop as a shortcut, and it'll say, there's a new mesh folder, do you want to share it? And you just link that to a folder. So basically I've mirrored this setup on my laptop, on my desktop at home. And then whenever you make a change inside a mesh folder, that change is then pushed to the cloud. And then whenever you turn on the other computer, it's automatically downloaded and updated. So that any change will be the same on whatever many computers you have in your system. So it's like a really dumbed down version of SharePoint that's folder based. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you literally download the folder, the theme folder, dump it into the folder called themes, and it pops up. And then you can just click on it, and hopefully it'll work, unless there's something wrong with the theme.
So if you're going to start a new theme, you just take the default theme, copy it,
yeah. I always start, I copy a fresh version of the typograph theme off the WordPress theme directory, and then I just rename it, and then I just start working on it. So it's like, it just clicks, everything just works. I have 7 books and 4 t-shirts. Hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the t-shirts are large, by the way.